Okay, so we are going to go over the answers to the problems that you should have had on your review sheet for the test tomorrow, which is over 10.1 to 10.4. The first 5 or 6 problems that I gave you are adding or subtracting the polynomials. So if I look at the first problem there, I have 2x squared plus 7x plus 1 minus 10x squared minus 2x plus 8. Okay? So what type of problem is this? Addition or subtraction? Subtraction, okay. So what does that mean that I do? Opposite of what? Change the signs of the numbers behind the subtraction sign. Very good. So then the 10 becomes negative, the negative 2 becomes positive, and the positive 8 becomes negative. And then what type of problem do I have now? Addition. So what do I need to do now? Combine like terms. We want to make sure that one of these problems is in standard form. The first one is, so I'm just going to move all the second set of terms underneath the first one. If you decided to move the first set of terms under the second one, you will still get the same answer because 2 plus 4 is 6, 6 plus 2 is 4. No, I said that wrong. 2 plus 4 is 6, and 4 plus 2 is 6, okay? So here we go. So we got negative 10x squared plus 2x minus 8. So then we just add. 2 minus 10 is negative 8. And then what is my variable going to be? X squared. Do we ever add the exponents? No. 7x plus 2x is 9x. 1 minus 8 is negative 7. So then that will be my answer for number 1. Number 2. We have 2x squared plus 7x plus 1 plus x squared minus 2x plus 8. What type of problem is this? Addition or subtraction? Addition. So does that mean I need to change any of the signs anywhere? No. I'm just good to go to line it up underneath their like terms. Is it in standard form? Yep. Now, time out. Look at the second set of terms. In front of x squared, what is that number there? Positive 1. I would write that if I were you. Yesterday when I was grading quizzes, I saw too many people who did not write it, and then they ignored it. They thought it was a 0. They thought there was nothing there, and that's not the case. So we're going to have 1x squared under 2x squared, negative 2 under 7x, and positive 8 under 1. So 2x squared plus 1x squared is 3x squared. 7x minus 2x is 5x. And 1 plus 8 is 9. Okay. Number 3. I have 4x squared plus 6 plus negative x squared plus 3x minus 4. Okay. Do I need to change any signs at all? No, why not? Because it's an addition problem. So I noticed that the second set of terms is in standard form, right? And it's not missing any terms. But the first set is missing that middle term, the x. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take everything in the first set and line it up under the second. Like I said, it does not matter which order you do. So 4x squared and then plus 6. And we just leave that 3x with nothing underneath it. What is negative x squared? What is there technically in front of that? A 1. I would write it if I were you. What is negative 1 plus 4? 3x squared. Then we just drop down our plus 3x. Negative 4 plus 6 is positive 2. Okay? I'm going to erase these now and start with 4 through 6. So number 4, we have 2x minus 4 plus 3x squared. What do I automatically notice about that? It's not in standard form. So minus 2x squared plus x minus 1. What is my first thing that I need to do? Change the signs. So negative 2x, negative x, positive 1, and become an addition problem. Do I ever touch the signs in the first set of parentheses? Never, okay? Which one of these are in standard form? The first set of terms or the second set of terms? The second, because it goes x squared, x, and then our constant. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take everything from the first set and line it up under the second. Now, if neither were in standard form, you would have to start by rewriting one of them in standard form and then lining up the other one. So we're going to have positive 3x squared under negative 2x squared, positive 2x under negative x, and negative 4 under positive 1. So negative 2 plus 3 is 1x squared. Negative x plus 2 is 1x. And 1 minus 4 is negative 3. So that should have been your answer for number 4. Number 5, 9x to the 4th power minus x squared plus 7x plus x to the 3rd power minus 6x squared plus 2x minus 9 minus 4x cubed plus 3x plus 8, okay? How many polynomials do I have here? 3, right? Okay, so I look, are any one of them being subtracted? The very last one, right? So the only one that is being subtracted is the one that I'm going to change the signs for. If there was another set after this, I would still only change the signs in that set of parentheses. So this is going to be negative 4x cubed, negative 3x, and negative 8, and this becomes a plus. Now, all I want to do is line all 3 of them up under each other and add them all at once. Now, I notice that some of them are missing terms that others have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the one that has the most terms. Well, I've got 3 here, 4 here, and 3 here. So which ones do I want to start off with? The middle one, okay? So we're going to have x cubed minus 6x squared plus 2x minus 9. And then I can just line up whichever set I want to next. So I'm going to do the first one. But what does the first one have that the second one that I just lined up does not? X to the 4th power. Where does that go? Out to the front. So then, does it have an x to the 3rd power? Nope. So we skip that. Negative 1x squared plus 7x. Does it have a constant? Nope. So we skip that. Now I've lined those up. Now I have a negative 4x to the 3rd, a negative 3x, and a negative 8. So does 9x to the 4th have any like terms? Nope, so we just bring them down. Positive 1x to the 3rd minus 4x to the 3rd is negative 3x cubed. Negative 6x squared and negative 1x squared is negative 7x squared. 2x and 7x is 9 minus 3 is 6, okay? And then negative 9 and negative 8 is negative 17. So that should have been your final answer for number 5. All right, so that's how we do it when we have 3 sets of terms. Now, you could have put placeholders here if you wanted to, but you don't have to, okay? That's just up to you. So the last one in adding or subtracting, we have negative 2x to the 4th plus 6x squared plus 5 minus negative 2x to the 4th minus 3x cubed plus 7x squared minus 5. First of all, what type of problem is this? Subtraction. So what am I going to do to every sign? Change it. Which, do I mean every sign in the entire problem, or where are we changing the signs? Behind the minus. So this negative 2x to the 4th becomes positive. This 3 becomes, negative 3 becomes positive. this becomes negative, and this becomes positive. So now I'm just going to line up, and I'm going to make it an addition problem, line up my like terms. So we have negative 2x to the fourth, positive 6x squared, and positive 5. What happens to the 2x to the fourth and the negative 2x to the fourth? They cancel out. Do I write anything there at all? Nope. Now I'm just going to drop down my 3x cubed. Negative 7x squared plus 6x squared is negative 1x squared. Pay attention to your signs. That's what got a lot of you on the quiz yesterday. And 5 plus 5 is 10. So there's my final answer. So that should be the first page of your review sheet, the adding and subtracting polynomials. Now, we're going to go through 7 through 16, and we are going to find the product by multiplying. There are two methods that you can use. What are those two methods? FOIL or distributive property. Technically, are FOIL and distributive property the same thing? Yes. So in number 7, when I have x plus 3 times x minus 6, what would I do here to find the product? First, x times x, which is x squared. X times negative 6, which is negative 6x. 3 times x, which is positive 3x. Now, pay attention to your sign. 3 times negative 6 is what? Negative 18. If you write positive 18, it is wrong. So then we just combine like terms, which are right here in the middle. Drop down my x squared because I want it to be in standard form. Minus 3x minus 18. Okay? Number 8. X plus 2 times x squared minus 4x plus 6. Can I use FOIL on this problem? No. Why not? There's too many terms. There's 5 terms. So what am I going to do instead? Distributive property. So I'm going to distribute this x to each thing in the first set of parentheses, or second set of parentheses. X times x squared is x to the third power. Remember, we add their exponents, and technically there's a 1 right there. X times negative 4x is negative 4x squared. X times 6 is positive 6x. Now I'm going to distribute the 2 to everything in the second set of parentheses. 2 times x squared is 2x squared. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8x. 2 times 6 is 12. Now what am I going to do? Combine like terms. Which term am I starting off with, Quentin? Which term do I start off with? Very good, x cubed, and no, it does not have any like terms. Austin, which terms are next that I'm going to combine? Okay, so negative 4x squared and positive 2x squared gives me what? Very good, negative 2x squared. Tyson, what comes next? 6x and negative 8x, which gives me what? Negative 2x, perfect. Adriel, what comes last? Let's look for our like term right here, or our last term, which is 12. Does 12 have any like terms to combine with? So we just put 12 at the end, okay? So that would be my final answer for number 8. Number 9. Now look at number 9. Number 9 set up a little bit differently. 5 plus 3x plus x squared. And then we have our smaller binomial, or our smaller term, at the end. So which way do I distribute? Guess what? It doesn't matter. You can distribute whichever way you want. So I'm going to still distribute the 2 terms to the 3. So I'm going to do 3x times all of those. 3x times 5 is 15x. 3x times 3x is 9x squared. 3x times x squared is 3x cubed. Then the negative 1. Negative 1 times 5 is negative 5. Don't forget about your sign. Negative 1 times 3x is negative 3x. Negative 1 times x squared is negative 1x squared. All right, Dante, which term comes first? Is that our biggest exponent that you see? This is a 3 right here. Okay, so this one would come first. 3x cubed, because we always want to start off with our biggest term. Victoria, which two terms do I combine next?
9x squared and negative 1x.
Very good, which gives me what? Very good. Alicia, what two terms do I have next?
Negative 3x and 15x.
Very good. And what's 15 minus 3? 12x, very good. And then, Stephen, what comes last? Negative what? Negative 5, very good. Negative 5, okay? So, number 10, we have 12m minus 4 and 3m plus 6. Okay? So what would you do first? First, right? So it's going to be 36m squared. Oops. Then outer 72m. Inner negative 12m. And last negative 24. So I combine like terms. 36m squared gets brought down. What's 72 minus 12? 60m and minus 24. All right. I'm going to erase these and do 11 through 16 now. All right, so 11, we've got 4x plus 6 and 4x minus 6. 4x plus 6 and 4x minus 6. All right, so first is going to be what? 16x squared. Outer is negative 24x. Inner, positive 24x. And last is what? Negative 36. What happens to those middle two terms? They cancel out. So we're left with 16x squared minus 36. Do I want you to write 0x in the middle? No, I do not. Okay? Number 12, we have 7x plus 6 squared. What does that squared mean that I do? Write it twice. Right twice. Right, Tyson? Okay, so what am I going to do first? Which is? Very good. Okay, Chandler, what am I going to do next? 7x times 6 is 42x. Then next, Brandon?
7x times 6.
Which is 42x. And Jared, what's last? 36. Very good. Now, don't just assume, oh, because they have the same number in the middle, they cancel out. No, look at their signs. What is 42x plus 42x? 84. So we're going to have 49x squared plus 84x plus 36. And that would be our answer for number 12. Okay? Number 13. We have 9x minus 4 times 3x plus 1. All right, Christian, what would I do first?
Multiply 9x by 3.
Very good. And what do I get?
27x squared.
Very good. Andrew, what would I do after that?
9x times 1 and you get 9x.
Very good. What would I do after that, Faith? We did the 9x times 1, so what comes after that? We want to do our inner, so negative 4 times 3, which is negative 12x. And then Connor, what comes after that? Which is negative 4. Combine like terms, so we drop down 27x squared. Quentin, what are my like terms?
9x and negative 12x.
Which gives me?
Oh, that's negative 3x.
Uh-huh. And then last term, negative 4. All right. Make sure everybody is awake and alive. Okay, number 14, we have 9x cubed, 2x minus x squared minus 9. So what am I going to do when there's only one number outside of parentheses? Just distribute it. 9x cubed times 2x. What is that going to be? Well, first of all, let's do, what's 9 times 2? 18. 18x to the 4th power. Very good. We add our exponents. Technically, there's a 1 right there, so that's why it's to the 4th. 9x cubed minus x squared. So what's that going to be? Negative 9x to the 5th. Remember, we want to add. And 9x cubed times negative 9 is? Very good. Now with these, we typically won't have like terms to combine. That is our final answer. Number 15. We have x minus 5 squared. Adrian, what does that mean I do? So we're going to have x minus 5 times x minus 5. And Chayla, what should I do first? X times x, which is x squared. Michael, what comes after that?
Negative 5x.
Very good. Ethan, what comes after that?
Negative 5x.
Negative 5x. Very good. Alexis, what comes after that?
25.
Positive 25. Okay, Maggie, what two like terms am I going to combine? And what's my final answer?
X squared minus 10x plus 25.
Very good. Okay. And last in this section, number 16, we have 4x squared minus 3x minus 1 times 2x minus 5. Danielle, what would I do first? And what do you want to distribute first?
The 2x and then the 4x squared minus 3x.
Okay, perfect. We'll start here. 2x times 4x squared is what?
8x.
8x cubed. Very good. Jordan, where do I go next?
2x and negative 3x.
Which is? Perfect. Kalea, where do I go next?
2x times negative 1.
Which is?
Negative 2x.
Now what do I do? Austin?
Negative 5 times 4x squared.
Which is?
20x squared.
What kind of 20? Positive or negative? Negative. Very good. So negative 20x squared. Then, Alicia, what do I do next? Okay, Adrielle, can you help her out? Tyson?
Negative 5 times negative 3x.
Uh-huh, which is?
15.
Positive 15x. Very good. Brandon, what do I do next?
Where are we possible? Where's the problem?
Right here.
Sorry, I'm trying to find it.
So what's negative 5 times negative 1?
Negative 5 times negative 1, that is positive.
Positive 5. Very good. All right, so we combine like terms. X cubed. Then negative 6x squared, negative 20x squared is negative 26x squared. Negative 2x and positive 15 is positive 13x. And then last but not least, positive 5. Okay, so that's how we use FOIL or distributive property to simplify binomials, trinomials, whatever they give us. Okay, so then last but not least, 17 through 20, what do the instructions say? Solve. What does that mean I am going to do? Very good. And how many problems do I write? Is it always going to be 2? It's however many variables I have. So we have, in this case, 9x plus 27 equals 0. 6x minus 9 equals 0. So what am I going to do in the first problem, Andrew? First problem. Subtract 27. So now I have 9x equals negative 27. Some of you did not make that 27 negative, and then it's wrong. Connor, what do I do next? And what does x equal? Negative 3. Very good. All right, Stephen, next one. What do I do?
You gotta make 2 problems.
We did it.
You gotta add 9.
Add 9. On the quiz yesterday, some of you solved the first one and then forgot to do the second problem. Now what do I do, Ethan?
You divide 6.
Mm-hmm. Can I leave a fraction as 9 over 6? No. You are in the 9th grade now. And if you see a fraction that does not or is not in lowest terms, I know some of you are shocked that you were in the 9th grade, okay? You must reduce it. If you left it as 9 over 6 on the quiz, or there was a fraction that needed to be reduced, I think it was 6 over 4, you got marked wrong, because you should know that by now. So what is 9 over 6 reduced? 3 over 2. Final answer. If you put it as 1 1/2, that was fine. 1.5 is wrong. Okay? Number 18. Okay? So we have 4x minus 8 and 7x plus 21 equals 0. All right, what should I do first? Make 2 problems. 4x minus 8 equals 0. 7x plus 21 equals 0. What should I do on the first problem? Add 8. 4x equals 8. Then divide by 4. X equals 2. There's my first answer. Next problem. Subtract 21. 7x equals negative 21. Divide by 7, and x equals negative 3. Okay? Look at this next problem. Look at number 19. 9 and then 6b minus 18 and 2b plus 2 equals 0. What about that 9 on the outside, Stephen?
You act like it's not even there.
Exactly. We do not pay any attention to it at all. Now, what if that 9 was an x?
You distribute.
No.
No. You never distribute 3 problems.
Yes, exactly. If this, instead of a 9, was a, let's say a B, so we keep it the same, we would say B is equal to 0 because we never disregard variables. Any letter at all that you see must be equal to 0, okay? Or at least start out that way. Any number on the outside of parentheses, whether it be a number or an exponent, can be disregarded because we don't need it. Now, you could distribute this 9 technically if you wanted to, and you're going to get the same answer, but it's just more work for you. So, we're going to do 6b minus 18 equals 0, and, excuse me, 2b plus 2 equals 0. So, what do we do first? Add 18. 6b equals 18. Divide by 6. B equals 3. Next problem, subtract 2. 2b equals negative 2. Now, divide. What is negative 2 divided by 2? Negative 1. It's not negative 2. It's not 0, okay? Negative 1. And last but not least, number 20. I gave you some fractions in this one because there are fractions on your test. That's why I gave this to you. Every problem that you see on this review sheet, there is a similar problem on the test. So I didn't just give random numbers. I went through and I said, okay, there's one like that on the test, so I'll give you a similar problem on the review sheet. First of all, how many x's do I have? 3. So how many answers am I going to have? 3. So we're going to do 1/3 x plus 9 equals 0. 3/4 x minus 6 equals 0. And 1/5 x minus 7 equals 0. So what am I going to do on the first problem? Subtract 9. 1/3 x is equal to negative 9. Then we multiply by the reciprocal. What's the reciprocal of 1/3? 3 over 1, or just 3. So x equals what? Negative 27. See, the fraction was not that bad. Now, what do we do? Add 6. 3/4 x is equal to 6. What do I do now? Reciprocal times 4 over 3. What does x equal? 24 over 3, which is 8. Or you could do 1, 2, and you could get 8 that way. Or, here's a helpful hint, plug it in your calculator. It'll do it. Okay? What should I do next? Add 7. 1/5 x equals 7. Now what do I multiply by? Reciprocal, which is technically 5. So what does x equal in this problem? 35. Okay? So those 20 questions on your review sheet are very similar to the 20 questions you have on your test. Stephen. Number 6 was 3x cubed minus 1x squared plus 10. All right, so your test is tomorrow during your hour. There will be help class tomorrow morning at 7:25 a.m.